and reaction, and
Well, my opportunity to meet Yisa was just very recently, and first of all, my sense was what a gentle soul, and what a creative man, and what a man that cares about the rest of mankind. And so as he took me around the room to look at some of his pieces that he was putting on the walls, he made it clear to me that you're to feel comfortable touching them because they're very tactile, and I have enough sight that I can see the vibrant colors, and so it became art that was available to those of us that have little sight but some. And so I thought, what a perfect fit. But his generosity, I guess one of the first things I said to him was, I'm always curious about why folks choose Winnipeg. I'm a great Winnipegger, love Winnipeg. I'm a true cheerleader for the city. And then he began to describe to me why. And it became clear that because they embraced him, he recognized the need to give back to them. And to choose CNIB as one of its many recipients, I just, as an organization, as a client, and as the chairman of the board, I felt truly honored and really touched. I tend to wear my heart on my sleeve, and as does he, because he often would describe to me the piece that he was showing me and how it was conceived and what it meant, and that even putting it up with a price tag on was a real difficult thing for him to do. He in fact said on more than one occasion, which is probably typical of artists, it would be like choosing a child to sell. But at some point in time, he said, I have to be somewhat pragmatic and pick one of my children, which of course in his case translates to his art. So we could not have been happier to host this, and for him to be committed to giving us some of the proceeds of his amazing creativity is immeasurable.
I think Yisa is just an amazing artist. I mean, what's fascinating is that he came from Nigeria here to Manitoba, and within a few years he became president of the Manitoba Society of Artists and had the admiration and the support of artists from all over Manitoba. And he has that admiration and support because he's really a creative genius.
and it's supporting so well.
I think a lot of this art is particularly interesting. Yisa's new work, some of it has more layers than some of his earlier work does, and I think that's particularly interesting. But when I look at some of the pieces, I find that they're particularly peaceful. I don't know if that was Yisa's intention in the work or not, but certainly when I see some of it, I feel a particular peace. And perhaps it's the expanse of the canvas, I'm not sure.
Whenever you're ready, just in general.
You want my comments?
Yes.
About Yisa's work, about this particular work?
Any of the work, the gallery, his contribution as an artist in general?
I think this is a wondrous exhibit. This is so interesting, and I have not met anyone here tonight who has not been able to access the paintings and be drawn into them, and I think that's a wonderful talent, because that is the job of an artist, is to elicit some kind of emotional response from the viewer, and I think Yisa does that in a very effective way. I particularly like this one. May I speak?
Yes.
Yisa's called this 450 miles per hour. I have no idea what his intention was while he was painting this painting, and I haven't heard him speak on this painting, but to me, this is what the painting says. 450 miles per hour, and I look at this painting and I say, not in a car you don't. This is celestial. So this is somewhere above, wherever. This is away from where we are, and this is maybe going into the light or the unknown, or towards something wondrous. And I don't know what this is, if it was intended to be a wheel, or if it is intended to be an access route somewhere, but I like the fact that the light is inside the wheel, and that we're heading. He's pointing us inward and towards it and through it, and I think he has wonderful control here, taking the eye around and towards the lightest part.
Every leader is a reader, and every committed reader is a potential leader. Every leader is a reader because it's the engagement of the senses of others that makes him to make sense. That's why I've also propounded that every leader is a learner, and every committed learner is a potential leader. Abraham Lincoln said, "I don't think much of a man who is not wiser today than he was yesterday." Henry Ford said, "When you stop learning, you are old, whether at 20 or at 80. And when you keep learning, you are young, whether at 80 or at 20. He said, "The best thing to do is to keep your mind young. And through the art of learning or a commitment to a lifelong learning." Your sense of value for knowledge is a great determinant of your leadership future. Please note from here, wisdom is not a cheap commodity. It's the costliest commodity, but of greatest value.
Inspire those who look up to you to expect more of themselves. We know that too many young men in our community continue to make bad choices. And I have to say, growing up, I made quite a few myself. I had a tendency sometimes to make excuses for me not doing the right thing. Excuses are tools of the incompetent, used to build bridges to nowhere and monuments of nothingness. Well, we've got no time for excuses. Not because the bitter legacy of slavery and segregation have vanished entirely, they have not. Not because racism and discrimination no longer exist. We know those are still out there. It's just that in today's hyper-connected, hyper-competitive world, with millions of young people from China and India and Brazil, many of whom started with a whole lot less than all of you did, all of them entering the global workforce alongside you, nobody is going to give you anything that you have not earned. Nobody cares how tough your upbringing was. Nobody cares if you suffered some discrimination. And moreover, you have to remember that whatever you've gone through, it pales in comparison to the hardships previous generations endured, and they overcame them. And if they overcame them, you can overcome them too.
When I came into Canada in 2020 for my graduate program, one of my goals is not just to be in the lab as a student, but one of my goals is to also give back to the community. And this I did through volunteering, through engaging in leadership activities, through thinking of ideas that I can help in making my community better. And the reward for this is winning the Canadian Varney Scholarship of $150,000. And this scholarship is mainly towards supporting my PhD program for a span of 3 years. And to be sincere, it has been a very big reward. To win this scholarship is not just about being involved in academic activities or engaging in research. One also has to have leadership qualities. And giving back to the community is mainly what Creative Foundation, for instance, is all about. Being able to train young people to think differently, being able to equip them to prepare them for the future.
This is the Creative Foundation, and there's something creative about what is happening here today. Okay, we have young people, and then we have elders. Okay, you guys can see the elders in front, and then the young people. Well, today is not a typical career counseling. It's not a typical one. You've had that over and over. There is a reason. There has to be a reason why we have elders seated here, and then we have young people, creative young people that we expect so much from. And we have these two groups here. Can anybody, any of the young ones, tell us, why do we have elders here and then have young people. Did somebody attempt to tell us why? Why do you think?
The youth get to learn from the elders, because there's a saying that what an elder will see when he's sitting down, a young person can't see it even if he climbs an iroko tree. So the essence of having youth and elders in forums like this is for the youth to learn, because a lot of times of recent to have the trends that are swaying the youth. Sometimes most of them get carried away, they forget the roots where they are coming from. So this kind of forum will help us to learn the things that may have been lost along the line of our growth. So please, the youth, including myself, I'm open to learn today. Thank you.
Wow.
That's Mrs. Samar. You should be here where I am. You should be in this position.
I know we've been having a lot of guests lately, but this time I'm not alone again. I'm joined by two of my friends here who are also students of the Creative Foundation. Precious and Praise, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you.
How's your day going? Good?
Yeah.
Can I share you like my dilemma of the day?
Sure.
Okay, my dilemma of the day is like, you know when you like wake up in the morning and you're late for the first thing you need to do, and then it's like a domino effect, everything else in your day is just late or ruined.
Yeah.
Okay, so when talking about Creative Foundation, when did you guys start getting involved with Creative Foundation?
I would say like we started getting involved around like 2 years ago or something like that. It started off with, Mr. Yisa. He was telling us all about Creative Foundation and we have joined in, and it was a really, really fun experience, and Creative Foundation has taught me a lot of things now. I'm currently doing web design and we work with Canva, and now that I work with Canva in web design, I'm already used to the factors in school too, so it's helped me with a lot of those things.
How old are you guys now?
I'm 12.
You're 12 and you're
13.
So you got involved when you were 12.
And I was 10.
And you were 10. Okay, gotcha. What was it about Creative Foundation that you guys wanted to spend time here?
It's not like any other organizations. Creative Foundation really gives the students that are in the organization time. Like they know what children can do when they get older and stuff like that. And so they don't just give you work and leave you there. Like they will explain to you, they'll help you, they'll like advise you on stuff. And it's not like some other organizations where they just let you do your own stuff and stuff like that.
What classes are y'all taking in Creative Foundation?
We take web design, and with Creative Foundation too, they don't just like put you in one area. They actually do a lot of different stuff. So we do science a few times a month. We do interactive science experiments, which is really fun. And then you give a lot of presentations on the class that you're doing, and it helps you just be bold and out there.
I know you said it helps you be bold and out there.
Mm-hmm.
Were you more of a shy person before joining?
I wouldn't say so. I would say maybe like in the middle, but Creative Foundation does help with that, gradually, and it's actually it helps with a large part of who you are and how you act and stuff like that. So.
To read today's citations, please welcome Ken McKillop, Secretary to the Governor General.
Thank you, Kara. What a great day to celebrate Canadians. Un bel journée d'hiver pour célébrer les Canadiens. And to receive the insignia of member of the Order of Canada, recevoir l'insigne de membre de l'Ordre du Canada, Yisa Akinbolaji.